visible?
Yeah, it is visible. This is
बस
nice.
ठीक है.
I will remove my screen ना, तो आपके पास focus आ जाएगा वैसे.
ठीक है, मैं अभी stop कर रही हूँ, mute भी कर रही हूँ.
ठीक है.
We are live now, everyone.
Good morning, Sona ma'am, Vishali ma'am. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am. Good morning, ma'am.
Thank you. A very good morning to all my lovely students. This is Smriti Sharma from Bharati Public School, Noida. I welcome you today. And further, I have with me Vaishali ma'am. And let us start with the introductions, ma'am, and let us start with the beginning of this wonderful session.
Uh, Thank you so much, ma'am. Good morning, everyone. Today, we all have gathered here to celebrate World Space Week 2020. It is an annual event observed from 4th October to 10th October. Bal Bharati Public School, Noida, is actively participating in this international celebration of science and technology. To begin with, today we are taking you all to the beautiful journey of our solar system. Our solar system consists of sun and all objects that orbits around it. The sun is orbited by planets, asteroids, comets, and many other things. Do you know that our solar system is about 4.6 billion years old? Too old, isn't it? Today, we will take a journey where we will try to learn about and visualize the sun and our 8 planets. So let's begin with it. So we all know the sun, it's the heart of our solar system. It's a yellow dwarf star, a hot ball of glowing gases. Its gravity holds the solar system together, keeping everything from the biggest planet to the smallest particles of debris in its orbit. Electric currents in the sun generates a magnetic field that is carried out through the solar system by the solar wind, a stream of electrically charged gas blowing outward from the sun in all directions. I hope you can visualize it and see it on my screen. The connection and interactions between the sun and earth drive the seasons, ocean currents, weather, climate, radiation belts, and aurora. Though it is special to us, there are billions of stars like our sun scattered across the Milky Way galaxy. Some interesting facts about Sun are that it is the largest object within our solar system, comprising 99.8% of the system's mass. The Sun is located at the center of our solar system, and Earth orbits 93 million miles away from it. Isn't it too far? Though massive, the sun still isn't as large as other types of stars, and it is classified as a yellow dwarf star. Its magnetic field spread throughout the solar system via the solar winds. See how beautiful it looks. Let's move to the next member of our solar system, the first planet from the sun, Mercury. The smallest planet in our solar system and nearest to the sun, Mercury is only slightly larger than Earth's moon. From the surface of Mercury, the sun would appear more than 3 times as large as it does when viewed from Earth. And the sunlight would be as much as 7 times brighter. Despite its proximity to the sun, Mercury is not the hottest planet in our solar system. Now you must be thinking, then which is the hottest planet? Think about it. We will come to that as well. One day on Mercury takes 59 Earth days, and it takes a complete orbit around the sun in just 88 Earth days. Mercury is a rocky planet and has a cratered surface like the Earth's moon. So it looks quite similar to Earth's moon. And you will be surprised to know, but Mercury has no moons of its own. See? Now, next to the Mercury in our solar system, the second planet from the sun is the beautiful Venus. Similar in size and structure to Earth, Venus has been called Earth's twin. They are not identical twins, and there are radical differences between the two worlds. Venus has a thick, toxic atmosphere filled with carbon dioxide, and it is the hottest planet in our solar system. So I hope you got the answer of your question. Even though Mercury is closer to the sun, Venus is the hottest planet in our solar system. And the credit goes to its dense atmosphere, which is filled with carbon dioxide. Venus looks like a very active planet. It has mountains, volcanoes, and lots of activities keeps going on the surface of this planet. One day on Venus lasts 243 Earth days because Venus spins backwards. You will be surprised to know that its sun rises in the west and sets in the east. So if you will be on Venus, then the sun will be rising in the west and it will be setting in the east. As Mercury, Venus also does not have any moons and no rings. The planet's surface temperature is about 900 degrees Fahrenheit or 465 degrees Celsius. It is hot enough to melt iron and lead. So you can understand that it is quite impossible to have life form on Venus as we know it on Earth. Now, can you guess which is the next planet in our solar system? I'm sure you all must have guessed it right. The next planet is our very own Earth, third from the sun in our solar system. See how beautiful Earths look when seen from the space. Our home planet Earth is a rocky terrestrial planet. It has a solid and active surface with mountains, valleys, canyons, plains, and so much more. Earth is special because it is an ocean planet and water covers 70% of Earth's surface. Earth's atmosphere is made mostly of nitrogen and has plenty of oxygen for us to breathe. The atmosphere of the Earth also protects us from incoming meteoroids, most of which break up before they can hit the surface. Can you imagine life on Earth without water? So I hope you all understand how important water is for survival and life on Earth. A day on Earth is 24 hours, and Earth makes a complete revolution orbit around the sun in about 365 days, which is a complete year. Unlike then Mercury and Venus, Earth has a moon. Let's see how that moon looks. The moon, Earth's only natural satellite. It has guided timekeepers for thousands of years. Its influence of Earth's cycle, notably the tides in the oceans, has been charted by many cultures in many ages. Moon not only helps in moderating the temperature of the Earth and the climate and weather on the Earth, you know that we always see only same side of the moon from the earth? That means every day when you are seeing the moon, you are always seeing the same side of the moon. You have never seen the other side of the moon from the earth. Isn't it interesting? And this is because it is spinning on its axis at the same speed that it is going around the earth. And that is why we only see the same side of the moon always from the earth. Let's move to the next planet of our solar system. The very famous Mars, Mangal Graha of the solar system. It is the fourth planet from the sun. Let's have a close look at it. Mars is a cold desert world. It is half the size of Earth and is sometimes called the red planet. You see, all can guess why it is called red planet, because it looks so red, and its red color is because of rusty iron in the ground. Like Earth, Mars has seasons, polar ice caps, volcanoes, canyons, and weather. It has very thin atmosphere made of carbon dioxide, nitrogen, and argon. There are signs of ancient floods on Mars, but now water mostly exists in icy dirt and thin clouds. On some Martial hillsides, there is evidence of liquid, salty water in the ground. One day on Mars takes a little over 24 hours. Mars makes a complete revolution orbit around the sun in 687 Earth days. Just like Earth, Mars also has its moon. There are two moons which revolve around Mars, named Phobos and Deimos. Let's have a look at the moon. So here is the Phobos. Let's look at closely. Phobos is the larger of Mars' two moons and is 27 by 22 by 18 kilometer in diameter. It orbits Mars 3 times a day and is so close to the planet's surface that in some location on Mars, it cannot always be seen. It is nearing Mars at a very high rate of 1.8 meter every 100 years. At that rate, it will either crash into Mars in 50 million years or break up into a ring. Let's have a look at the second moon of the Mars, the Deimos. Deimos is the smaller of Mars' two moons, being only 15 by 12 by 11 kilometer in size. Deimos whirls around Mars every 30 hours and is a dark body that appears to be composed of C-type surface material, similar to that of asteroids found in outer asteroid belt. Like Phobos, Deimos is a small, lumpy, heavily cratered object. Several missions have visited this planet, from flybys and orbiters to rovers on the surface. The first true Mars mission success was the Mariner 4 flyby in 1965. At this time, Mars' surface cannot support life as we know it. But there are lots of missions going on currently which are determining Mars' past and future potential for life. Moving forward, now I invite my colleague, Ms. Smriti Sharma, to continue with this journey to the next planet.
Thank you so much, Vaishali ma'am. It's a pleasure to be with you on the same platform. And a very warm welcome to all my lovely students. Indeed, what Vaishali ma'am told us about all these planets were the facts that we've known but not known in a certain way, because these were interesting facts. We usually talk about the planets in a very different platform, but here we spoke in a very interesting manner of how these planets are different from each another and how beautiful they are. As you can see on your screen right now, I will be discussing about the rest of the four planets, and they are called the Jovian planets because they are gas giants. Yes, they're made up of rocky mountains and gas. Now, as you can see, ma'am is pointed towards Jupiter, and that is exactly what I will talk about right now. What about Jupiter that interests us the most? Yes, it is the biggest planet in our solar system. It is similar to a star, but it never got big enough to start burning. So it is covered in swirling stripes, cloud stripes, and it has big storms like Great Red Spot, which has been going for hundreds of years. Jupiter is a gas giant and it doesn't have any solid surface. It may have a solid inner core, and that is about the size of Earth. Yes, our planet on which we are living right now. Jupiter also has rings, but they are a little faint to see very well. Faint in the sense that they're very light to be seen by us. Now, what are the interesting facts that I'd like to tell you today? It is the largest planet of all the 8 planets. It is fastest spinning, so it spins very fast. It has 67 moons. Yes, I said 67. And it is 11 times the size of the Earth. So if Earth is this, Jupiter is 11 times Earth. And you know what the most interesting part about Jupiter is? It rains diamond over there. Yes, my dear children, diamonds. And it's not only Jupiter where it rains diamonds. The next planet, Saturn, yes, even in Saturn, there's a diamond rain, which I'm sure would be liked by most of us. And after hearing this, we can also start thinking about going to Saturn. And why not? There's a possibility that out of you and me, especially my young and lovely, bright Balbhartian, somebody might have an opportunity or will become a scientist someday and will work for NASA and create something that we could go there, and don't forget me at that time, okay? Do bring me a diamond from there. Jokes apart, Saturn is the 6th planet from the sun and the second largest planet in our solar system. So there's Jupiter, which is the largest, and after Jupiter, it's Saturn. It is it's not the only planet with rings. Now, if you see a screen, the beautiful rings, how pretty it looks. And these rings, you know what they're made up of? They're made up of tiny ringlets that surround the Saturn, and it's just chunk of ice and rocks. Even Saturn, children, is made up of hydrogen and helium. These are two gases. And you know, this planet can actually float on water because it's made up of gases. And Saturn takes 29 years to complete one orbit. So 29 years to complete one orbit. Earth takes 1 year, 365 days, and 1/4 also, not to forget that. And here we have Saturn taking 29 years. So if my birthday would come on Saturn after 29 years of Earth days. I'll have to wait a lot to cut the cake and eat it. After Saturn, we have Uranus children. Again, it looks beautiful by the sight of it. And it was the first planet found with the help of a telescope. Yes, telescope. It was discovered in 1781 by an astronomer whose name was William Herschel. Although he originally thought that it was a comet or probably a star, but then he was sure that no, it's a planet. What is Uranus made up of? It's made up of water, methane, ammonia fluids, and a rocky center, small rocky center. Even in Uranus atmosphere, we find gases like hydrogen and helium, just like Jupiter and Saturn. Because if you remember, I told you initially, these are gas giants. They're the Jovian planets, right? And why is it looking so blue? I'm sure most of you have thought about it right now. You have the answers with you. And if your answer is because of methane gas, you're right. Yes, methane makes Uranus blue. And one interesting fact about Uranus is it rotates sideways. So it's the only planet that rotates sideways. The seventh planet from Sun, very cold and windy because the distance from the Sun has become quite large and it's rotating sideways. And guess what? It takes 84 years to complete one orbit. So Uranus takes 84 years. That's a lot, children. And so is Neptune. Last but not the least in the list of our planets comes Neptune. Now, Neptune is dark, it's cold, and it's very windy. And it is more than 30 times as far as from the sun compared to the Earth. So if Earth is at here, if Earth is here compared, Sun is here, Earth is here, then the Neptune would be 30 times far from the Sun compared to the Earth. So that's a lot. And it is the only planet that is not visible from a naked eye. So I just can't look into the sky and try to figure out where Neptune is. But it was predicted by mathematics even before it was discovered. So, yes, mathematics is actually a very logical subject. One of my favorites has always been. And because it is so far from sun, it's the farthest from the sun compared to the others, it is the windiest out of all the planets. And it has 13 moons. So moons are everywhere. They're the satellite. They're the very own natural satellite, like we also have. So does Neptune, but it has 13 of them. And it takes 165 years to complete one orbit. So that is, again, we are talking about 365 days on Earth and 165 years for Neptune. So life is pretty slow there, if there is any, still to find out. So, children, this is what we had for you. These were the facts that we wanted to discuss with you. Hope you enjoyed the facts part of it, but I have something else for you as well. And do you know what that is? Most of you have guessed it. Yes, it's an activity. Nothing goes without an activity in social studies, in learning about solar system, and what a better way of doing an activity from something that we have at home. So what's this? What is in my hands? You would have guessed it by now. If I'll do like this, then probably most of you will be able to relate with it. Yes, it's dough, atta, gunda hua atta, it's dough. And the activity I have for you is fun filled. And as we always talk about two subjects at the same time, why not talk about mathematics along with your solar system? Why not? It won't take much of your time. So just quickly get a dough from your kitchen and see how I'm doing it. अच्छे से इसको just knead it nicely, right? And then I make a long, I'll just share my here. So children, I have a scale to start with, and I have made 10 points here at equal distance, and I expect the same from you. If you can see the screen, see here, I've marked it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So I've kept my scale like this, and I've kneaded this dough, right? And I have to knead it from point 10 to point 1 like this. And now I'm going to cut it into 10 equal parts. So I can see here, I can see. I have the scale portion right here, so I can see it. So let me just quickly cut it with the help of the scale. So we're not using any sharp material. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So it looks like a pastry puff if you see it carefully. I could just probably put it in my micro and it'll puff and we can probably eat it with tea, but that's not what I'm going to do. What are we going to do? After this, we are going to take we'll separate 5 portions, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, right? And after we have separated these 5 portions here, I take 2 portions, like 3 portions like this, and one I keep here and one I take like this. I am going to need it again. So I've kept them separately, okay? Don't throw them away. I need it again. I need it, I need it, I need it. And it again has to go till 10. I hope it is clearly visible to you, children. Here, like this. And I'm going to again cut it into 10 equal pieces. So here I go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and that's the 10th portion. Again, I keep this one separately here. Again, one more here. And again, I take 5 like this, 3, 4, and 5. And these are 3 again, kept separately. Now, I take the 5 ones which I took initially. I roll it, children, and I keep it like this here, right at the top. And do you know which planet is this? If you have guessed it right now, it is Jupiter. So I'll just show it to you. This is my Jupiter. I'll quickly write it and then I'll show it here. This is Jupiter, children. All right. Now these 3 portions that I'd kept, I'll do it again. I'll roll it nicely. Nice and round. Nice and round. And here I've kept it. And do you know which one is this? Most of you have guessed it right now. Most of you have guessed it. Yes, it's Saturn. Let me quickly write Saturn here. Here we have two of the planets. This is Jupiter. Here it's Saturn. And ये जो हमने एक अलग से रखा था, the small piece, the small chunk. Here, I am going to do it. I'm going to roll it, roll it, roll it. Roll this dough, roll this dough, roll this dough. And here it comes. And any guesses which one is this? Yes, it's Uranus. Very good. This one is Uranus. And these two comprises of the small ones, Neptune. Last but never the least, Neptune. So now we have Jupiter, we have Saturn, you have Uranus, we have Neptune. अब आप सोच रहे होंगे, why did ma'am keep these 5 and why did ma'am keep these 3 separately, right? So these 5, I'll roll it. It becomes a ring of Jupiter, Saturn. Sorry, Saturn has beautiful rings, right? So this becomes a ring of Saturn. Here we go. A nice, beautiful ring of Saturn. I'll take 2 more because Saturn has a lot of rings. You know what to do. Never satisfied is our Saturn. Always hungry. So I'll make another ring out of it, right? So here it goes. And this small single piece that you can see in your screen, can you imagine which planet is this? Any guesses? Any guesses? Which planet is this? This is Earth. Yes. So actually, Jupiter is 11 times more than Earth, and I've just proved it to you with the help of dough from your mama's kitchen. Yes. Here we go, children. So I'll show it to you. We have Earth here, we have Jupiter here, Saturn here, Uranus here, and Neptune here. I hope you enjoyed this small little activity. Do it. All right. Please do it under your parents' supervision. You're going to enjoy it. Tell them also that what all can be done from just from a kitchen. You have a lot to learn, and it was a lovely session. I really enjoyed being with you children, and I hope that you also enjoyed learning more about our solar system. Thank you so much, children, and have a good day. Namaskar.